Welcome back to another study vlog. This time I was in Hamburg, but still spent my time at the library. And to be honest, we had a few ups and downs because things started out really well. I actually got a very good seat and it started raining once I got there. So things started out very romantic and cozy. And I used the morning the same way as always, starting with my flashcards and doing some practice questions, also my reading. I am doing microbiology at the moment. And a little tip, because I had to figure this out along the way, or kind of remind myself of this along the way. So some of the bacteria and also especially the antibiotics are just a little bit hard to grasp, and it took me a long time to read. I kept having to start over and I was blaming myself because I felt like I wasn't focusing enough or whatever, but at some point I decided to skip a little bit some parts of the book and go straight to the illnesses that are caused, so a little bit more applied microbiology, and suddenly things were working really well again. And turns out it wasn't actually me, it was just that it's a bit harder to understand the sometimes very abstract concepts of how antibiotics work. And so I ended up getting through the main part of the book, which were the illnesses, rather quickly, and then I could come back to the antibiotics and fill in the gaps. So just take this as a reminder: if you get stuck anywhere while studying, maybe skip the very hard part and just come back to it later when you've maybe made some progress with other topics, so that you feel better about yourself and not like you still have so much to learn and you just can't get ahead. So I spent my morning being productive at the library, and then around noon I went home because I felt like it. And here's the thing, I went home because I didn't feel like pushing myself too much staying at the library, even though I didn't want to. And if you're studying for such an extended period of time, so 6 months or so for one exam, it is really important that you realize things are a marathon, not a sprint, and you have to take it slowly and you have to save your energy. And that's why I did go home. But when I got there, instead of getting back to work, I just sat on the sofa and started to chill for a bit. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against taking a little break, but it was the kind of break which could have ended up in me basically doom scrolling and wasting away my afternoon, just to then get really frustrated later on and beat myself up for it. I was kind of lucky though, because I remembered that if I suffer because I didn't do the work that I knew I had to do and that I had the time and, to be honest, also the energy for, I just wasn't disciplined enough to actually do it, I take a very big part in my own suffering. So I had this realization and I got up, I made myself some coffee, I had this incredible chocolate bar, and I pushed through my laziness and ended up having a genuinely good afternoon. I finished up all of my work and I even got in a little workout, which is so important for me because I keep getting back pain from all the sitting, and I also need the workout for my mental health. Plus, I always feel very accomplished if I manage to study and work out and get everything done in one day. And it wasn't even that late when I was done, so I got ready again and I met up with my boyfriend and our sisters and we had dinner together. So it was a very good and balanced Friday, which left me with enough energy to start over tomorrow.